You probably heard many times from people like Jamie Dimon and all these institutional bankers and economists and so on that Bitcoin is only used by criminals, right? Bitcoin is used for sex trafficking, Bitcoin is used for money laundering, Bitcoin is used for drug trafficking and all this nonsense. And you think in 2025 this myth should be dead already, but unfortunately it's not, and I still see many people talk about this nonsense. So I decided to make this video to put these claims to bed and to show that Bitcoin is not largely used by criminals. In fact, all of crypto is not largely used by criminals, and fiat money is still king when it comes to criminal activities. So in today's presentation, we're going to talk about Bitcoin and the claim that Bitcoin is used for criminal activities like drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and money laundering. Now let's look at the facts. In 2019, $21.4 billion of illicit transactions were conducted out of $2.1 trillion of crypto transactions. That means only 2.1% of all crypto transactions were illicit transactions. This was in 2019. In 2020, 10 billion illicit transaction out of 1 trillion total transaction, which means 1% illicit transaction of crypto transactions. In 2021, 14 billion illicit transaction out of 15.8 trillion total transactions, which means 0.15% of illicit transactions were conducted in 2021. Crypto transaction, by the way, this is not just Bitcoin, this is all of crypto. So that means Bitcoin is less than 0.15%. So in the 2022 crypto crime report, which of course reports on the 2021. So in 2021, illicit transactions accounted for approximately 0.15% of all crypto transaction volume, totaling around 14 billion. This was in 2022. This was in 2021, but it came out of the report of 2022. And the report of 2023, which of course shows the data of 2022, illicit transactions rose to about 0.24% of total cryptocurrency transaction volume, amounting to approximately $20.1 billion. So it rose to 0.24%. Again, this is all of crypto transaction, not just Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is less than 0.24%. Okay, now let's compare crypto transaction to fiat transactions. Okay, let's look at fiat. The United Nations Office on Drug and Crime says that 2 to 5% of global GDP is laundered via fiat. That means from 800 billion to $2 trillion annually go into money laundering and criminal activities. And if you compare it to crypto transaction, that's of course, crypto transaction is less than 0.25% of all crypto transaction, but fiat is 5% of global GDP. So it's like comparing, it's apple to oranges. I mean, fiat clearly way more used for criminal activities compared to crypto, let alone Bitcoin. So why the focus on Bitcoin then? Why do people focus on Bitcoin and they try to link it to criminal activity and they try to link it to the black market and they try to link it to all these kind of things? Why? Of course, traditional finance is afraid of Bitcoin. Every tiny bad news about either Bitcoin or crypto is amplified. Sensational headlines dominate newspapers and news online. But despite all of this, cash is still king when it comes to crime. Now, of course, many people don't know that it's actually easier to track crypto transactions. The last thing you want to do if you are a criminal is use cryptocurrency. And the last thing you want to do is use Bitcoin actually, because Bitcoin is easy to track. Bitcoin is bad for crime because the blockchain is transparent and you can track every transaction on blockchain browsers. So why would you want to use cryptocurrency when you can use cash? Bitcoin is a tool, just like any tools, can be used for good and for bad. So it can also be used for crime. Okay. I remember from the days of the Silk Road marketplace, many people were busted. So even when Bitcoin was, even when the days when you can have Bitcoin without KYC, which is very difficult to do now. I mean, many people buy their Bitcoin from KYC exchanges like Binance and Bybit. But even during those days, the FBI were able to track people through these addresses and through their anonymous identities online. So even in the days of the Silk Road, people were caught, criminals were caught, okay? How can you do that right now? Now it's even tighter than it was many years ago, okay? So why would you use crypto? I mean, of course, there are like how to say, private crypto coins that are used mainly for privacy, like Monero and all these kind of things. But if you are a criminal, you are not going to use crypto because crypto can be tracked easily, whereas cash is very difficult to track. Like I've said, Bitcoin is a tool. Just like any tools can be used for crime, but Bitcoin has plenty of positive use cases. Bitcoin is the ultimate store of value. I mean, the United States government called it digital gold. The ultimate hedge against inflation. It's financial freedom. It offers fast and global final settlement. And it offers censorship resistance in authoritarian regimes like maybe the United States. Okay? So, to wrap up, Bitcoin is not mainly used by criminals. Whenever you hear Jamie Dimon and all of these so-called experts try to link Bitcoin to criminal activities and black markets and sex trafficking and all this nonsense, remind them and remind yourself that the illicit use of all of crypto, including Bitcoin, is less than 1%. In fact, it's less than 0.25%. So it's nothing compared to fiat money. It's nothing compared to the wars that are being funded by fiat currency, by the dollar, okay? And the biggest crime is, of course, war. War kills hundreds upon thousands of people, of innocent people, civilians, women, and children. And it's funded by fiat money. It's not funded by Bitcoin. And it's not funded by cryptocurrency. Fiat enables more crime volume, and Bitcoin is transparent and traceable. If you are a criminal, the last thing you want to do is conduct your criminal activities with Bitcoin or with cryptocurrency. You don't want to do that because it's trackable, it's traceable. So, I'm gonna borrow a term from Gen Z and I'm gonna say stop the cap, study Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the greatest investment in the 21st century. Bitcoin is the greatest asset in the 21st century. Bitcoin is the hardest money the world has ever seen. Bitcoin is sound money. Bitcoin is the best money the world has ever seen, and Bitcoin will reign supreme. So that's all I have to say in this video. Let me guys know what you think in the comments below. If you have a question, of course, you can write it down. I will try to answer it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Send this video to a friend or two. Whenever you hear this bullshit about Bitcoin and crime, come back to this video, send it to a friend or two. And by the way, I'm going to leave all the sources in the description below so you can double check them if you want to. And see you in the next one. Take care.